are on section 4.3. We're going to move away from solving the square root equations to graphing and solving square root inequalities. So we're really just building on the stuff we learned last unit where we had like greater than or equal to's and less than or equal to's and all of that. And remember, you have note cards with all this information. Don't forget that you have that. So essential questions for today. What is a square root inequality? What does a solution of a square root inequality look like? So we really have two parts to this lesson, okay? So we're going to start with this with note card 95, and I'm going to want you to state the transformations in the starting point, determine if the line will be dotted or solid, and if you will shade above or below. And then we're going to graph using the information. Remember, this is two variables. We have an x and a y here. And so it's going to be a graph. Our solution is going to be a graph. All right, so let's state these transformations. So number one, we've got right 5. And we've got up 3. Y'all, this was in section 4.1. We did this. Now, what is our starting point? Starting point, if we go right 5 and up 3, it would be 5, 3. That would be our starting point. All right, number 2. We're going to determine if the line will be dotted or solid. Well, it'll be solid since it's a less than or equal to. And we will shade, excuse me, we will shade below because it's a less than. And then number 3, we're going to graph using all of the information above. Okay, so I had to get my document camera ready. Okay, so here we are. We got to graph this. Now, I know we can use Desmos. I get it. But you still have to be able to do these by hand. So we go right 5 and up 3. And then it goes like this. And Desmos could be my guide there. And remember, these things, if I imagine there would be a vertical line right here, they don't go on this side of the vertical line because your domain is bounded on the left. And this was a solid line, and we would shade below. So when I imagine this vertical line here, I'm going to shade like this. I'm not going to shade that way because it's not defined over here. If we put a 0 into this, I have the square root of a negative, and we can't do that. So just imagine there's a vertical line right here, and you cannot go past it. So there you go. All right, so I plopped that image here, but I do want to show you on Desmos. All right, of course it's going to be prettier and all of that. I've got y less than or equal to the square root of, oh goodness, okay, the square root of x minus 5 outside the square root plus 3. I've got a crazy viewing window right now, so I hit the home key, and oh, I put plus 5. Let me change that to a 3. Okay, now remember, it's not going to show you your starting point. You have to type that in. I explained that in the 4.1 video, and there we go. And you'll see that the shading doesn't go over here. Okay, that's what I mean. You've got to imagine that starting point has a vertical line there because you can't go past it. Okay, I went in and plopped that pretty version on Desmos. But look, it's the same thing. Yeah, it is. Pause me and finish up note card 95. Okay, now this one is not a note card, so I just want you to follow me here and make sure you're understanding. If I need to state the transformations, well, I've got 4 of them. I am reflected or a reflection over the x-axis because there's a negative in the front, and of course I didn't spell that right. Let me fix that. Yes, I meant reflection. Okay, and then I'm a vertical stretch by 2. I am right 1 and up 5. All of those transformation rules we've learned already. We specifically went over them in section 4.1 again. Our starting point. Now this is where I have to think about where I moved left and right. I went right 1 and up 5. So that'd be 1, 5 as my starting point. And it's opening down though. It's opening down. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this video because it's about at its time limit, and we will pick back up in the next video.